Page 5-11 of our notes is going to be full of how many and how much type of problems. So you will be given less numbers than what you were on the previous 2 pages. So if you look at number 12, it says that we ordered 100 baseballs and bats. So a total of 100. So right away, one of your equations is going to be x plus y equals 100. The number of baseballs plus the number of bats is equal to 100. Then we have a how much. How much did they cost? Well, $4.50 for one of them, so 450x, plus $20 each for another one, for a total of $822. So if you do not write your variables off to the side, you need to make sure you go back and look. So 20 is for each bat. So that means your y is the bat and your x is the ball. So if that's something you want to write off to the side before you start, you can do that. You can do it after you write your equation, or you don't have to do it at all. It's up to you. So you can choose to either eliminate or substitute. Most people substitute for these problems. I will show you that you can, especially for this one, you could multiply this by 20 and do an elimination. So I personally like to eliminate if at all possible, but you don't have to. So I'm going to eliminate though and get 20x plus 20y equals 2,000. So now my y's match, so I can subtract. I'm actually going to write it up next to it. So 450 minus 20 gives me negative 1550, or negative 15.5. X equals 822 minus 2,000 gives me a negative 1178. So then I divide. And I get x equals 76. So I know they ordered 76 baseballs. They needed a total of 100. So if I just do 100 minus 76, that means they ordered 24 bats. And that is your final answer. So the good news is that finding the second number is a lot easier once you have found your first number. So number 13, we have 40 children total. Each child either got a hot dog or a bag of popcorn. So that means there were 40 hot dogs and popcorn all together. So x plus y equals 40. And then we have 225. So I'm going to do 225x plus $1.75y is equal to 83.50. So how many? There were 40 items, so those do not have any coefficients. How much was spent was 83.50. So those have to have the money with it. So since I don't really want to multiply by decimals, I am going to solve this equation, and it doesn't matter if you solve it for x or for y. I'm just going to put y equals 40 minus x. So now I need to substitute that into here. So these problems get really long with a lot of writing. So 225x plus $1.75 times 40 minus x is equal to 83.50. So then I need to distribute 225x plus 175 times 40 gives me 70 minus 1.75x equals 83.50. So again, if you're comfortable, you can subtract 70 at the same time as combining your two like terms. So 225 minus $1.75, or 1.75, gives me 0.5. So I would have 0.5x equals 83.50 minus 70 would give me 13.50. So then I divide 1350 divided by 0.5, try to squeeze it in there, and I get x equals 27. So we know x is 27, which would make y 13 because it needs to add to 40. But again, you need to label it. So x goes with the 225. 225 were hot dogs. So they had 27 hot dogs and 13 bags of popcorn. So that needs to be your final. I don't want an ordered pair. I want you to label each thing. Again, once you get your first answer, you know what the total needs to be, so that's easy to find the second answer. It's just a lot of work to find your first one. All right, 14. This one sounds similar to some we've done before because we have adult tickets and children's tickets, but they don't tell us how many of each were sold. That's our job. So we sold 548 tickets. So there were a total of 548 tickets. That doesn't deal with the money, if I can write correctly. Then the money deals with 650, so I'm going to just do 6.5 to save some writing. 350 for Y, for a total of 2881. So all of the money needs to go in one equation, and then your other equation will just be blank. So again, some people don't mind having decimals, so you could multiply everything by 3.5. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to kind of do every other one, so you can decide if you want to substitute or eliminate. So I'm going to multiply by 3.5. So I get 3.5x plus 3.5y is equal to 1918. Right, so again, I personally would rather eliminate whenever possible, but I will do some substitution also so you can see all of that. So if I subtract, I get 3x equals 2881 minus 1918, gives me 963. So then I need to divide by 3, and I get x equals 321. So to find out for y, I need to take 548 minus 321 and get 227 for y. But again, I don't want you to label it like that. You need to put the actual labels. So it says how many of each. So again, you go back, your x has the 650 with it, so that's adult. So 321 adult and 227 children. So 15 is going to look identical. Talking about adult tickets and student tickets, the amount is just different. So I'm going to do that one with substitution so you can decide which one you like better. So x plus y is equal to 321. That's how many were sold. 350, so again I'm going to do 3.5x plus 250, so 2.5y is equal to 937.50. So again, if I were just doing this on my own, I would probably multiply the top equation by 2.5 so that I could do elimination, but it's up to you. I will do substitution so you can see the difference. I'm going to put y equals 321 minus x. I could have also solved for x. It really doesn't matter. So I need to plug that in place of that y. So 3.5x plus 2.5 times 321 minus x is equal to 937.50. Again, to me, this is just much more work than if I would have multiplied and done elimination. So 3.5x plus 2.5 times 321 gives me 802.50. So 802.5 minus 2.5x equals 937.50. So to save me some room, I'm going to do two steps. I'm going to subtract the 802.50, and I'm going to combine my like terms. So 3.5 minus 2.5, luckily just gives me 1x equals 937.50 minus 802.50 gives me 135. So again, 135 is x. X goes for adult tickets because it has the 350. So 135 adult. And if I do 321 minus 135, I get 186 children. So if you go back and look at 14 and 15, 14 I did with elimination and 15 I did with substitution. So you just need to decide which way you like better. And 16, this one is with dimes and nickels, so you need to know how much they cost. So there are 42 total coins, so x plus y equals 42. How many coins? 42, so that gets the plain ones. Then how much are they worth? So we have dimes and nickels. So dimes are 10 cents, so 0.1. Nickels are 5 cents, 0.05, for a total of $3.30. So again, I prefer to eliminate. So I'm going to multiply the top by 0.1. I'm going to write that right underneath, and I get 0.1x plus 0.1y is equal to 4.2. So then I need to subtract. Gives me negative 0.05y equals, if I subtract that, I'm going to get negative 0.9. So then I need to divide that by 0.05, and I get 18. Y equals 18. Well, if y equals 18, I need to do 42 minus 18 to give me 24. 42 minus 18 gives me 24. So look down here. Your y was with the 0.05, so there are 18 nickels and 24 dimes. Again, that one you could plug in very easily to make sure that that worked. Do 0.05 times 18 plus 0.1 times 24 and make sure it does equal $3.30. Okay, so for all of those, you have a how many and a how much. The how many just deals with x and y, and then the how much should have coefficients with it. And you can choose to either eliminate or substitute.